Brian, we talked a little bit about Bitcoin volatility and volatility in general at the top of the program in the sort of freeform part, and obviously VIX, which has been in the news recently, literally on channels which aren't even financial. I've actually heard the VIX being mentioned. I think one of the curiosities about this market for a lot of participants and maybe people outside looking in is, do you think we're at the stage yet where increasing CME crypto option market maturity, we might be at a stage where CME Bitcoin options, the depth of that market is sufficient to begin to serve as an underlying basis of a robust regulated CFTC volatility contract, maybe? What's your view on that?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that we're certainly getting there. I mean, what we spoke about before about the timeline between Bitcoin futures and options and then subsequent products. I think there's a similar analogy here. And we think about the volatility indices, right? And how, the first adoption of any volatility index, widespread was in the 90s, right? And then you had futures in 2004, call it, and futures options in 2006, then ETNs in 2009. This is a multi-decade evolution for the volatility ecosystem for like variance swaps, that type of stuff around S&P and NASDAQ products. It's certainly not going to take 30 years for that to happen with Bitcoin, right? So I'm not going to give a specific timeline, but there is nowhere near that long a timeline.
They cross my mind.
It's going to be a lot quicker
No,
than
absolutely.
that, right?
Yeah. No. So obviously, the basis of that question is that we do have, in partnership with you guys, we have the only pure measure of CME Bitcoin volatility.
Right.
BVX, we call it, the CME CF Bitcoin Volatility Index. And, we were obviously curious about the demand or your perception of the appetite for a product like that for all sorts of use cases that I guess, are quite analogous to how the VIX is used as well. So you're saying it's like, it's coming.
Yeah. I think there's certainly appetite for it. I mean, I think a lot of our customers have gone from saying it might be a little too soon to, I think the marketplace is getting developed where it's starting to make sense to look at it, right? Which is really promising, I think. And, for us, we're focused on not only, there's been so much talk about like zero DTE options across the marketplace, right? We're not only focused on the short dated stuff, but you think about Bitcoin, a lot of our institutional customers are asking us for like longer dated Bitcoin exposures, right? So I think that there's a lot of different angles here, right? It's trading volatility, it's short dated stuff, it's long dated stuff, because people have, legitimate hedging needs where you think about this environment, you don't know what the world's going to look like 9 months from now, and people want to hedge that risk in crypto, which is pretty exciting to see that we can build out that longer part of the curve too.